Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found. And of course, taped live at the twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. We got a lot to talk about, including NXT, which we're going to speed run today. AEW Dynamite, man, what a show. They introduced a new title. And then also, we got our first challenger on the AEW side of things for that AEW Interim World title. Not a shock as to who it was, but we'll talk about that in just a moment. Before we do, let's talk about this really quickly because this sort of was something that dropped yesterday. I thought it was kind of interesting. Last time we did a review, it was on Raw, Monday Night Raw, where, of course, Edge got kicked out of the Judgment Day, and now they're the new Judgment Day. Finn Balor has taken over as leader, and you and I, Larson, had both speculated that, they got to load up on some possible top faces for because Cody Rhodes is out, which, by the way, he gave an update, and the whole zombie bite has now spread to his arm, so he is soon to be full bruise. He's got a full body bruise. Yeah.
The bruising and swelling are crazy.
Yeah.
So yes, we mentioned during our Raw recap the PW Insider report that Edge had been moved from heel column to babyface column internally within WWE in terms of how they classify everybody.
Yeah.
After he got booted from the faction that he created, Judgment Day.
Yeah, he made this.
He made it. So Fightful Select confirmed PW Insider's report and added that WWE were considering taking Judgment Day in a, quote, supernatural route. And Edge apparently took issue with it. Fightful adds that words started going around the hours before Raw that, quote, a big shift involving Finn Balor and Edge was set to happen. Now, you remember that one time where Damian Priest stared at the camera, the lights came down, and then the match just ended?
Yeah.
Like some sort of supernatural thing.
Yeah.
So they did tease some supernatural aspect, I believe, the week after. In one of Edge's endlessly long promos, he referenced something vaguely supernatural. So they kind of tease it and then stepped away from it, like WWE does with a lot of things.
Well, his opening promo, the first big long promo, he referenced learning stuff while being part of the ministry, essentially, and part of the Brood. It was seemed like it was steering in that direction, but beyond a throne that seemed to move, which could have been supernatural or just motorized, or what it actually was.
It was neither, actually. It was people pulling it.
Well, I know, but I'm talking about in kayfabe, but evidently in kayfabe, it was just people pulling it also. And even commentary when they were arriving said, oh, this group, supernatural. I distinctly remember the word supernatural being used in commentary as they were walking down the ramp. And I was like, wait, they are? I know they sort of act like it, but then they also talk shit about sports teams, which you'd think if you're a purveyor of the dark arts, that's not something you'd really...
That would be such of minor interest to you, unless maybe you're a huge sports fan and a warlock. Who knows?
Yeah, but wouldn't you... Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. In any event... look, Finn Balor has shown supernatural proclivities, tendencies perhaps, with his demon persona. That's not where I want them to go.
No.
But it's where they're going to go, Larson.
They're kicking Edge out. So here's the bummer. So, we talked about this in the Raw recap. It's do the ends justify the means? You get heel Finn leading a faction, which is something we've wanted for a long time. The path there... didn't make a whole lot of sense. But if the destination is cool enough, maybe we can forgive it.
Oh, sure.
But if the idea is that we're going to have Finn leading a supernatural faction,
Hey,
no.
Somebody go get the Ouija board. Let's, and then, he's like, Priest, you're the one moving it, aren't you? No.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe yes. Instead of a supernatural route like the Undertaker type deal or Bray Wyatt, they're ghost hunters.
Yeah.
I'd be into that.
Oh, did you hear that? I've got my EMP reader. It's just an app on my phone.
That damn Priest goes, oh, what is that?
What is that over there? Anyways, that was kind of goofy. Like Edge created this thing. I'm pretty sure like wasn't like the creative behind it, like sort of him first too, and then like they're like,
I thought so, and then they were like, hey,
come
Edge,
on, you know, make this better.
hey Edge, here, Edge, come here. We got an idea, Supernatural.
Yeah.
And Edge is like, no,
I don't want to do that.
we want to be on our mountain of omnipotence, talking shit about everybody's sports team. No Supernatural stuff. Edge, come on, Supernatural.
God damn it. God
Shoot lasers from your eyes, hand lightning.
Yeah.
He said, interest in that, minimal.
I don't know, man. He might be missing out on an opportunity. Those hand lasers that they gave Xia Li, those are legit. Those are cool.
Yeah, but what happened with Xia Li?
Yeah, they don't do them anymore.
You got hand lasers anymore. Or lightning.
Yeah.
Hand lightning.
Hand lasers. All right, man. Let's talk about enough of this goofiness. Let's talk about real wrestling. AEW. Enough of this sports entertaining stuff. AEW tonight. Fun show. Lots of stuff going on. First and foremost, of course, kind of surprising, I guess, at the lack of. So it was a phenomenal match. The main event was a phenomenal match.
It was really
You had
good.
said in the pre-show that Kyle O'Reilly's presence in it sort of precluded you from thinking that this could go either way. Maybe a heavier name. Let's say, I don't know. I'm trying to think of anybody in that battle royal. Like if I was like, oh man, Kingston's in this thing. Okay, cool. If Kingston wins it, that could be really cool. I still really wouldn't have thought. I mean, I don't know. What kind of name do you think would have done it for you?
Bryan Danielson.
He's injured.
Adam Cole.
Though. He's
Yeah, I
injured
know.
too. They're both injured. Can't do
Well,
it.
you asked me for names, not possible names.
Oh, sorry. Possible names.
Wardlow, but that he doesn't really fully understand what the interim title means.
Oh, we need to fix him. We'll do that in a bit.
Yeah. Like if this happened, some people here are saying Jericho. Jericho didn't believe.
That'd have been great. Yeah.
Like if they had done a better job booking Keith Lee, could have believed it. Same with Andrade. When Andrade came out as a Joker, I was like, oh, he's going to win, and that'll be the first step. Him facing Mox but losing will be the first step in him maybe actually getting a bit of a push going here and being involved on a regular basis. Maybe actually winning some matches, especially if he has Roosh with him.
Mm-hmm.
No Roosh showed up tonight. Andrade was eliminated. He didn't win. Yeah, I mean, ever since Punk announced he was hurt, and they had a little graphic on the bottom with Mox on it saying winner faces Mox, winner of this battle royal faces Mox for a chance to face the title. It's like, oh, Mox is going to be the AEW representative in that match, and it would have taken a lot in that main event, regardless of the opponent, for me to think it would be anybody other than Mox.
Yeah, at that point, I really just wanted a really good match, and Tony Khan.
It was a really good match. Yeah,
Tony Khan must, and this is one reason why I was like, oh, maybe he'll go with Tanahashi. In which case, maybe Kyle O'Reilly will win this somehow because if Mox is feuding with Jericho Appreciation Society, it wasn't to me. It wasn't like a 2% botch. It was more like a 5% shot for Kyle O'Reilly. It still wasn't much, but that's what I was thinking.
Mox has been clamored for this match against Tanahashi for a long time.
Yeah,
I'm actually fairly surprised that wasn't the original bout.
Yeah,
for Forbidden Door, because I know that's a match that Mox has wanted for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And once it seemed like it was going to happen, it would have taken a lot to convince me otherwise that it wasn't going to happen. So, and it's going to happen.
So Mox is going on to Forbidden Door to take on Tanahashi. I mean, I guess there's also a 2% chance that Oroku Goto could win this as well, but I think that's going to be Tanahashi.
It's going to be Go Ace, yes.
Yeah, it's going to be Go Ace. That should be a really good match regardless. So yeah, Mox is probably going to be your new AEW interim world champion. That sort of made sense from the get-go. But you know what? And honestly, it's probably the best business move. Like he is the closest thing to sort of a replacement for Punk. I get that. But I just think that it'd be more fun if it was sort of an relatively outside choice. That could have been cooler.
That could have been cool.
We got more Forbidden Door matches potentially coming up here also. Well, one of them for sure. Hangman Adam Page had his first match since losing to CM Punk at Double or Nothing. He called out at the end of his match, which, by the way, this really should have been a squash match. Remember how Mox, like when he came back from whatever he was doing the Murder Dad stuff, and he was just coming into the ring, annihilating people and leaving. That should be Hangman right now. In any event, he had a pretty good match against David Finlay. He comes out, calls out Okada, And then also on top of that, Will Ospreay made his AEW debut, because we had the hint Okan and Cobb showed a couple weeks back and made their presence known for the United Empire. So the man himself, the leader, Will Ospreay, and Aussie Open and Hanare also came out tonight on AEW.
And then they attacked FTR and Trent, set up a match on Rampage. FTR and Trent taking on, I believe, is Ospreay and Aussie Open.
Yeah, I think that's the case, yeah.
So that's awesome. Ospreay is a hell of a wrestler. I wonder if part of this is also going to be to set up whoever his opponent may be for Forbidden Door.
That's a possibility, yeah.
Like, I don't know if, let's say they win, Ospreay pins Trent, United Empire starts really laying a beat down on FTR, and Trent, someone comes out to make the save to help them out. I don't know who, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure really, who are they really aligned with. I don't know. It'll all shake out. It's a couple weeks away.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about this. So they AEW, after they gave us a bit of a health update on CM Punk, announced a new championship. And I was like, oh, they're going to do the trios titles finally. That's what I was expecting. No, it's not what it is.
Yeah.
It's the All-Atlantic Championship. And they're having a tournament kicked off tonight. First champion will be crowned at Forbidden Door. So the first round match tonight was Pac versus Buddy Matthews, and then we got Miro versus Ethan Page coming up, I think, on Rampage. No, Dynamite next week. And then it's Malachi Black versus Penta, and then there's a first round bout between two New Japan talents, and then the winners of those 4 matches will face off in a 4-way match at Forbidden Door to become the first All-Atlantic champion.
Yeah. It's a beautiful
Miro's
title.
belt to lose at this juncture. It's a great looking belt.
It's a beautiful title, yeah. No, Miro's going to win this thing. It's completely his. It'd be weird if he didn't win it. It is kind. I guess it's kind of surprising they're not doing the trios yet. But Tony had said basically, I think he'd actually said he's waiting until Kenny gets back so that he can be with the Bucks. On top of that, like at this point, Adam Cole is injured, and so it's not like him and Red Dragon can do that also. And on top of that, Orange Cassidy's injured too. So
I know, but you still have House of Black and Death Triangle and at least now while Bowens is hurt, you got the Acclaimed and Gun Club.
Yeah.
There's plenty of teams. You can get 3 members of the Dark Order. There's a trios division right there, even with injuries.
Yeah, but don't you want like your first champions to be significant and like all the significant?
Yeah, you can have Blackpool Combat Club. You can have Mox and Danielson and Yuta be the first champs.
It's gonna be one of the actual elite guys here. So that'll be kind of interesting. The All Atlantic Championship. It's gonna be crowned at Forbidden Door. Kind of feel like it's gonna be Miro. Let's talk about this, dude. Let's talk about Wardlow. What are they doing with Wardlow?
I don't know.
Last week, I don't know. This is like one of the rare instances where it's like, the fuck are you guys doing over there? Like, I'll be honest with you. I've seen people online like sort of make excuses for that. Not make excuses, but like claim that the MJF Wardlow match was like just fine. It wasn't. It was not the crowning moment they needed for Wardlow. The controversy around MJF, who, by the way, was not on the show tonight, wasn't referenced. They haven't moved that along. According to Fightful Select, apparently he wants to do Hollywood now. That was supposed to be a big moment.
Yep.
And he got his 10 power bombs, but everything surrounding that match was basically not will Wardlow win, it was will MJF even show up?
Exactly.
And he showed up. He did what they had wanted him to do and nothing else more. It was not an inspired match. It wasn't.
No, there was basically zero drama to it.
So you move on, and what's the first thing you do with Wardlow? You introduce a lawsuit angle, which is immediately a terrible idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then this week, that promo was not good.
It wasn't great, and also...
I'm sorry. I should this. Nothing about him tonight was good. Explain why, Larson.
So the reason he was brought out for an interview by Tony Schiavone is to explain why he wasn't in the Battle Royal, and he said he didn't want to be in the Battle Royal because he didn't want to be essentially he wants to win the championship from CM Punk. He says Punk is the champion. Essentially saying anything else is a Wish.com title.
Yeah.
So he's kind of bearing the concept of the interim championship right there. And he says, I'll be waiting for you, Punk. But here's the thing. You win interim championship, you get automatic shot at Phil. You win that title, you're basically number one contender to be champion, to face the champion there. Like, you don't have to jump through any other hoops. You don't have to go up to the top of the rankings. You win that match. You win the interim title. You get automatic match with Phil.
Yeah, it's super.
So long as you hold that belt until he gets back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like the easiest route to get your match with Phil is to win this interim championship.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that didn't make a whole lot of sense. And then after this whole way this whole thing was set up was kind of awkward. So
if Punk loses to the interim title, he'll never get, he's not going to fight for the championship against Punk.
Exactly. So he does his interview, and then kind of awkwardly we cut to Mark Sterling backstage with a bunch of security guards. And he says, this is ridiculous. He says, essentially, I'm a nice guy, Wardlow, so to deal with this lawsuit you were served with last week, I'm going to give you two options. Either you show up in court, or you fight 20 security guards in a wrestling match.
I mean,
We've already seen Wardlow lay out 30 security guards. What kind?
Yeah, like and at this point, he's not going to have to worry about spears or whatever. Somebody else. There's no reason to believe. It's like, what would you rather fight? A bear-sized duck or a duck-sized bear?
This is how Sterling probably should have framed it. It was like, here, he should have said, I want to take you to court. This is what I want to do. I want to take you for everything you got on behalf of my clients. I can't remember what the name is, the Association of Wrestling Security Guards, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But that's what he should have said. But their leader came to me and said, we would be happy to just kind of exact our own revenge against Wardlow at a wrestling match. You put it that way, then you don't look like an inept lawyer.
Yeah, no. He seems like a really bad lawyer. Yeah.
So, and it could have been, okay, that's kind of funny. Have the head of this security group say, this is what we want. It could just be kind of silly and entertaining. Instead, it just comes off like, oh, Mark Sterling, not a good lawyer.
No, dude, look, man, no matter how you cut it, he comes off as a bad lawyer, even in your scenario, even like before then. This is just bad. It's just bad. And his I'm sorry, but so like he said, I don't want to go for the AEW world title interim because it's interim. I want the TNT title because it has a legacy of great men, but recently the more recent champions have sullied the title's name, which, okay, fine, I guess. But the fact that, like, why did he have to say, he didn't have to say, he could have just said, hey, I just got my contract, so I wasn't eligible to be in the Battle Royal. I mean, that alone, Tony Khan has actually said, he's used the same logic with Miro, I think in a press conference or something, saying, well, it's the end of the year, we have to reset the rankings. He could say, under contract, does he even have a match won yet? Did he have a match last week?
No, but they had his record when he came out to the ring. But yeah, I saw other people saying that when he signed his deal, then it should be a reset for him.
It should be 0-0. Yeah, it should be nothing. Yeah. And there you go. That's why he wasn't in the Battle Royal. There's a logical explanation for it. Yeah. And then, say, hey, I got a fresh start. Starting at the bottom, TNT title. Maybe you don't want to phrase it like that. But now you got Wardlow going after the TNT title, which is fine. It's just his whole promo was terrible. He came out and immediately you knew it was going to be bad because he said, hey, it's Wardlow's world. What?
Wardlow's world. Wardlow's world. Party time. Excellent.
So, like, I was like, this is to go back. Get back there and start again, son. The poster boy for why sometimes you need a script. Or something, Hey, Wardlow, what are you going to say when you go out there? I'm going to say it's Wardlow's world. No, not going to do that.
How about this? You're going to start. You'll be instantly interrupted by Mark Sterling.
Yeah, it's okay. Look, it's okay to be a man of few words.
sometimes less is more.
Clint Eastwood established an entire career off basically saying nothing.
Yep, it's true. Let's take a quick break here to get a word from our sponsor, Raycon. You know, I've been listening to a lot of 80s music lately, and it's been great scratching that nostalgia itch. But it's also been great because I've been listening to the greatest jams of the 1980s on my Raycon wireless earbuds.
Nice. A little Rupert Holmes, maybe some Guns N' Roses. You know, man, Raycon's wireless earbuds look, sound, and feel better than ever. They've got optimized gel tips for the perfect in-ear fit, and they offer up the same audio quality as other premium audio brands, but at half the price.
I could tell you that regardless of what I'm doing or what I'm listening to, whether it's 80s music, hip-hop, indie rock, whatever, my Raycon wireless earbuds have always sounded great, and they've always fit great. Whether I'm walking, running, or lifting weights, I can trust that my Raycon wireless earbuds aren't going to fall out of my ears. Steve, look at this. I'm going to shake my head, and they're not going to move. You ready?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Just rattling that brain around there. But the earbuds they're not going anyway.
They didn't budge.
Goodness. You know, man, it's not surprising that Raycon's everyday earbuds have over 49,000 5-star reviews. So check out Raycon's wireless earbuds. My guess is that you're going to want to leave them a 5-star review also. Go to buyraycon.com/raw today to get 15% off your Raycon order. That's buyraycon.com/raw to score 15% off. Buyraycon.com/raw. Now let's get a word from our sponsor, Upside. I got to tell you, Larson.
What's that?
Every time I put some gas in my car, grab some food from a restaurant, I'm noticing something. Everything is more expensive. You see, I've been doing some reading up on economics, and you don't know about this, but there's this thing called inflation that you don't know about, and it's hitting Steve where it hurts. And Friendo, oh man, does it hurt.
You know, Steve, I am aware of inflation, and it's hitting me too, and it's hitting me pretty hard, which is why I started using Upside when I buy gas or eat out, because Upside gives me cash back on those purchases. I've bought gas with Upside. I've bought burritos with Upside, and with each purchase I've gotten cash put back into my pocket. And I just found out, thanks to you actually, that my favorite restaurant that offers my favorite burrito in the entire universe now has offers on Upside. So I think tomorrow for lunch I'm gonna go get that burrito with the cash back I got from buying burritos before.
Oh my goodness. You know, the great thing is too, using Upside is easy. You just download the app from the App Store or Google Play, claim an offer on whatever it is you're buying, check in, pay as you normally would with a debit or credit card, and bang, you get paid. You can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands.
And you can earn 3 times more cash back with Upside in comparison to credit card rewards or loyalty programs. Upside users are earning more than $1 million every week. So download the free Upside app and use promo code RAW to get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. That's $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more using promo code RAW. Before we get back to the show, let's get a word from our sponsor, Athletic Greens. You know, Steve, I'm always trying to find ways to improve my gut health and get more energy. Then I started using AG1 because in one serving, I'm getting 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help start my day off right.
You know, a lot of people take some kind of multivitamin, and it's important to choose one with high-quality ingredients that your body will actually absorb. Athletic Greens is the one thing with the best things. It uses the best of the best products based on the latest science to support better sleep, recovery, mental clarity, and alertness.
Yeah, I make myself some AG1 every morning before I eat breakfast, and I've noticed that my gut health has improved and my energy has gone up. And it's been really easy to work into my daily routine. Whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free, AG1 can fit into your lifestyle, and it costs less than $3 a day.
Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop and a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health.
To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. all you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/raw. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/raw to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Anyways, let's dive into this. It kicked off with the Casino Battle Royal. So one thing so AEW, their TV production is getting better. It's coming along. Mm-hmm. One thing they haven't quite mastered yet is the Battle Royal. I get it. It's tough. But like shit was happening. like specifically is when Kingston and Hager, I think.
Garcia are on the apron, and they both end up eliminated. We don't see it till the replay.
You're like seeing like I forget who the camera was focused on. There was a feat of strength going on of some sort. And then like by the time that's done, camera goes wide and Kingston's on the ground looking like a turtle. And then Hager and Garcia's putting the boots to him. So they need to sharpen that stuff a little bit. But this was fun. We had seemingly, I mean, they could, Swerve could always tell Keith Lee, hey man, is every man for themselves. You can't be too mad about it. We had Swerve.
His name's Swerve.
His name is Swerve. He swerved Keith Lee and he swerved his friend Darby Allin. So that happened. But otherwise, it was fine. It was fun. It came down to Andrade, Phoenix. God, Andrade was great in this. That midair low blow.
Oh, that was fantastic.
I did not see that coming, man. That was great.
Yeah, that was great. So the final four were Andrade, Wheeler Yuta, Phoenix, and Kyle O'Reilly. Andrade eliminates Phoenix. He and Kyle O'Reilly are double teaming Wheeler Yuta for a bit, and then Wheeler Yuta backdrops Andrade out. And then Yuta and Kyle are brawling on the apron. Eventually, Kyle O'Reilly boots him off. There are some fun moments throughout. Mm-hmm. But it was essentially like who gets the honor of losing to Moxley.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was kind of like this was the gist of this battle royal. So it kind of sucked a little of the drama out of it for me. But like the Swerve stuff kept it interesting, because after he swerved Keith Lee, you see he's working, right away he's working with Darby Allin, given their history, and they're like, it's coming for Darby too, and that elimination was pretty fun. And Keith Lee was pretty upset about getting thrown over the top by Swerve, so we'll see how all that plays out.
So Lord Noroku here in chat says Swerve tweeted out dead weight, so might be an actual heel. Yeah, that's
oh
heavy.
Wow,
my goodness. Not even a hey pal, sorry, but every man for himself.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Wow, I didn't see that. So right after the Battle Royal, we get a Moxley promo. He says for 3 years, it's been big game hunting in New Japan and blazing trail here in AEW. He says it's been a weird year, hasn't been easy. He said, I said in January I was going to grab pro wrestling by the balls. Mm-hmm. And with all due respect, Kyle O'Reilly, but he's going to be in the ring with the wrong guy. So the forbidden door belongs to me, and that forbidden door, this entire industry, is going to belong to me.
Should have just said, Kyle O'Reilly's a tag team guy. He's not going to win this.
Yeah.
And then
it just says, away. He should have, looked at his watch. I mean, if he wears a watch, and just says the number of days, hours, minutes, and seconds till I face Tanahashi,
Yeah. I'm looking past Kyle O'Reilly because he's a tag team guy. After that, so commentary. I had an update on CM Punk. Had surgery today on his lower leg. Went well. Doctor was happy about it. And also there's a new title coming to AEW, the All-Atlantic Championship. Hell of a looking title. This is a nice looking title right here, man.
It is a good looking belt. It is a really good looking belt.
They mentioned the details of the tournament. You already mentioned the brackets and how that's going to go down at Forbidden Door. Then we had the first match of that particular tournament. It was Buddy Matthews versus Pac. Buddy Matthews is massive these days, dude.
Man,
damn it.
It boggles my mind that he actually was ever, and apparently he said he was, under 225 pounds.
I think he was able to get it.
It wasn't just a kayfabe thing where he had to make weight to be on 205.
Well, that ain't
or
the
under
case
205, sorry.
That ain't the case anymore. I remember it felt like moments after he was released. He was like showing pictures of him in the gym, and it was just muscle on top of muscle.
Enormous.
On top of muscle.
His whole upper body is enormous.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's huge. This is a hell of a fun match, though. This is a lot of fun. Of course, Pat gets the win here with a black arrow. But, all the great stuff from these two that you'd expect. Penta and Phoenix come to the ring to celebrate with Pac. House of Black meet Buddy on stage, and they console him. And then, Penta and Malachi start doing the
Yeah.
I got my eyes on you, pal.
Because they're
I got
facing
my eyes on you.
Nana and Dynamite. I don't think they announced when they're having that
It's
match.
dark in elevation, yeah.
Well, it's probably not dark in elevation, but I could be wrong. Yeah, that was a really fun battle.
Both shows.
Especially that finishing segment where Pac blocks the corner kick from Buddy and hits him with that like poison run off the second rope.
Oof, yeah.
Ow. Set up the Black Arrow. Anyways, I thought we had Eddie Kingston promo.
This was great. What was he doing with his mouth? Hey, Garcia!
So let's get through. I'll get through it first, and this is what I think is what was happening. I think Eddie Kingston just almost made himself laugh. So he says, Hager, you cost me a chance at the world title. And he says, Garcia, I hate you. 2.0, whatever you're calling yourselves these days. Hate you too. And Chris Jericho, I'm still coming to get you. And then, so he prefaces this thing saying, they tell me I only have 60 seconds.
Yeah.
You're not going to put a time limit on me. And so there's the stagehand guy, probably the grip or whatever, is counting him down. He says, I know what C means. It means they got 30 seconds left. And I think he was so tickled by the idea that he was breaking down the fourth wall and calling out the stagehands there, that I think it was making himself laugh, because after he did that bit with the 30 seconds, he almost laughed. It looked like he almost laughed.
Yeah, but before that, when he said, Garcia, I hate you, and he goes like this.
Yeah, I think because
he
the whole time
bares his teeth. He did it twice.
He was trying not to laugh. I think he was trying not to laugh.
I think he was baring his teeth at people, man.
He was trying not to laugh. He says, Jake, I want you on Rampage, and I'm going to fight you. And then gets the guy, the stagehand guy over, and says, now you can tell the truck I'm done. That was my outline.
God damn it. It was so funny. And I'm just sitting there like, why is this guy not world champion? Like, how about him? It's bearing his teeth.
He just hold back a yawn.
That could be. Oh, man. What was this crap? Trent had a promo. He said,
what was this crap? So we can get laid out by Will Ospreay. That's what this was.
That's a good point. Yeah, they're like, how should we motivate Trent getting his ass kicked again?
He talks.
What if he has like a microphone in the middle of the ring? What? He doesn't do that. That's weird. Anyways, he comes out there in typical Trent fashion. It's so like underwhelmed. He's like, yeah, I'm kind of bummed out. It's National Best Friends Day, and my friends aren't here. I'm also bummed out about my match for Ring of Honor tag titles. This is me and Roppongi Vice, Rocky. He says that we didn't win the match, but we didn't lose it either, so we deserve another chance. And he calls out FTR to make things right. So they come out of the ring, and Cash's like, you know what, man? Yeah, we feel bad. We're fighting champs. You're right. You guys didn't win and didn't lose. He says, we want to show everybody we're the best tag team on the planet. Dax says, you know, Rocky's in Japan right now, but the problem you should have, is with the guys who attacked us. Will Ospreay's bitch boys. So Will Ospreay comes to the stage, and Hanare and Aussie Open attack from behind FTR and Trent. Aussie Open hits Trent with their finish, and then Ospreay follows with the hidden blade, which, god damn it, that's a rough move to take.
It is. Ever since
Trent sort of wins.
Ever since Ospreay hit that on Kota Ibushi at Wrestle Kingdom, that's my reaction to it as well.
Oh man,
is I wince.
Yeah, it's rough. God damn,
that's rough. Yeah. Aussie Open's finish is really cool.
Yeah,
that was pretty neat. So yeah, cool. As you mentioned earlier, they're going to have Will and Aussie Open are going to tag against FTR and Trent on Rampage on Friday, I believe. Then we get a Kyle O'Reilly interview, but Kyle is joined by Bob Fish and Adam Cole, and Regal's there. And so Regal kind of alludes to his problems with Undisputed Era. He says, you know, I've told you guys all sorts of different things throughout the years. But, you know, Kyle, you're stepping in the ring against Mox. Are you ready for this match? You know, essentially, he says, is your family going to miss you after this?
Yeah. Ooh.
Insinuating. Anyways, he says, it's going to hurt me to sit at commentary and watch you get your head cracked open. So he leaves, and Kyle says, I got a lot of momentum. Right now. He says, I came to AEW to do two things, fight the best and fight for the AEW title, and I get to do both those things tonight.
He's like, hit that Danzig homage music. I like that Regal during this, the entire time, he's like, it's going to hurt me to sit at commentary when you get your head cracked open. He was smiling the entire time. He was reveling in this idea because these guys have been a thorn in his side for years. He's like, this is going to be amazing. And you can see Cole over there just like, you know, chomping at the bit too. It's pretty good.
Yep.
After that, we had David Finlay versus Hangman Page. Adam Cole's on commentary running down Page the entire time. Heck of a match here. Of course, Page gets the win with Buckshot Lariat.
Yeah.
Afterwards, he grabs the mic, says, there's a lot I want to say about the AEW World Championship, but tonight is not the night. He said, I wasn't in the Battle Royal. It doesn't look like I'm going to get a title shot anytime soon. He says, since that's the case, I remember there's more than one world title in pro wrestling. He says, so last Sunday in June at Forbidden Door, I want Okada. And then Cole leaves commentary, says, Are you that delusional? First of all, Okada might not even be champion. My friend Jay White might be champion by the time we get to Forbidden Door. He says, but I didn't think about that because you don't even think like a champ. Because you're not a champ. You lost your title. But I won this fancy Owen title tournament. He says, I'm on a roll, and if anybody should get a shot at Okada, it should be me, baby, because it's all about me. And he says, Paige, stay out of my way.
Yeah.
Boom.
I did. So one thing I want to mention about this Page match. So Finley is working over his leg, but anyways, at one point, Hangman hits a suicide dive on Finley. And what does Hangman do? He goes to a fan in the crowd, sip of beer. Something we haven't seen from Hangman in quite some time.
Yeah, COVID. You don't want to be doing that. But now it's over,
also,
so you can do that.
Well, it's not over, first of all. And second, character. Telling the story here.
Yeah,
falling back into old habits.
He had his most success when he was boozing up, man.
Well, that's not
do
exactly
more of that.
true. He was actually he stopped boozing it up when he was world champion.
Right, exactly. What happened to that? He lost his title and he had an underwhelming title reign. More booze,
it was an
the
underwhelming
better.
title reign. It was perfectly good title reign. Anyways, we go back to earlier in the day. We travel back in time. Thunder Rosa issues an open challenge. Marina Shafir must have just been walking by, like everybody's walking by the Young Bucks locker room later on, and says, I'll answer your challenge. I'll be your problem. Can you solve me?
Can you solve me? After that, we had that Wardlow interview. We kind of went over this already. So, yeah, I'm just going to say this again. Welcome to Wardlow's world. Party time. Excellent. So he talked about all the Battle Royal stuff, not want to be in that. Didn't make any sense. He said he wants the TNT title. So that brings out Scorpio Sky with that beautiful TNT Lakers title.
He's injured too.
By the way, yeah, he is. Everybody's injured right now. This is AEW style of wrestling. They just let them do whatever they want. They get injured. What's the score on the game right now? Does anybody know in chat? Does anybody know?
I can look.
So anyways, Sky comes down. And, of course, Lambert and Page come running after him. And they're like, no, you're busted up. You can't do this. Wardlow, you can't do this. And Wardlow's like, hey, I'm all elite now. I got all the time in the world. So I'll be waiting for you. And they're like, yeah, that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be waiting. But then Mark Sterling interrupts on the Tron. He says you shouldn't be focused on anything. He says you shouldn't be focused on anything. He says you can't. He says, since I'm a nice guy, I'm going to give you two options. You could face me in court or face 20 security guards in a match. So you already mentioned that.
Yeah. Sorry, you should be focused on anything other than I think he was saying himself.
Yeah, whatever. It was
right now the Celtics are up 11.
How much time left in the game?
Fourth quarter. I don't know. It's fourth quarter.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, sure thing. So then we get a Young Bucks promo. They say, what a week we've had. First, they beat the tag champs. And then they beat the Lucha Brothers in our hometown. The Young Bucks are back, and we want our tag titles back. So the Hardys walk in. Apparently the door was just open. They walked by. They heard conversation in there. And they essentially say, well, you know what? You say that you deserve a tag title shot. We beat you at Double or Nothing. So maybe if anyone deserves a title shot, it's us. Well, then Jurassic Express walk in from a different door, I believe. And say, hey, we could hear you out in the hall. Maybe you should lock your door. Anyway, Christian does all the talking here. Says, anyway, neither of you deserve a title shot because you haven't earned one. Earned one. So he says, because of that, I'm going to take the initiative and issue a challenge. Jungle Boy says, huh? He challenges the Hardys and the Young Bucks to a ladder match. The match that made the Hardys and Christian and Edge and the Dudleys famous for the AEW tag titles. And he says Jungle Boy, he wants to get that win back from the Young Bucks. Jungle Boy is not happy about this match whatsoever.
Yeah,
he
doesn't like
being
Christian
a ladder
bringing
match.
up his losses either.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. He was not happy about any of this.
Yeah, so they're going to drag this out another 6 months. Yeah, I don't like Jeff in a ladder match right now. Just going to throw that out there. Just going to throw it out there. It's a ladder match, because here's
I mean,
you're not going to say, oh, maybe he could just dial it down and let everybody else do the work.
No, I don't think he knows how to dial it down.
He doesn't.
I think he gets out there in the crowd and he knows one speed, man.
Doom, 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 doom. Jeff Hardy speed. There you go. Doom, doom, doom. After that, we had Marina Shafir versus Thunder Rosa. This is a fun match. A lot of that Marina Shafir throwing people around stuff. That was cool. And in fact, that continued after the match. So Thunder Rosa ended up getting the win here with a roll-up. But then after the match, Marina Shafir, not too happy about that, starting to grabbed her limbs and stuff and started putting her in a submission. And then Toni Storm came out, made the save, ran her off, and then picked up that title. And then the little thing, look, where she was staring at it, and then Rosa was staring at her, staring at the title, and Rosa stared at the title, and they locked eyes, and she was like, oh, this is awkward. Started to give it back. Thunder Rosa ripped it from her hands. Yeah, that's probably going to lead to something.
Yeah, probably a match. It'll probably be really good.
Probably a match, and it might
be really good.
Pretty good, yeah.
So after that, we had Jade Cargill, the baddies, Stokely Hathaway interview. So Jade's talking about how no one can mind their business. And Stokely says, yeah, last week they had an issue with Athena, and suddenly Anna Jay and Chris Statlander got involved. I meant to write down what Stokely got Chris Statlander's name wrong, and I meant to write down, but it was funny.
Kristen Highlander.
Yes, that's what it was. And then because Statlander's facing Red Velvet on Rampage, and then Stokely made a Keith Sweat reference.
Nobody.
That made me pop.
Yeah, that was pretty great. It was really clever, too, because he sets it up. He mentions Keith Sweat, and then he says, because who's going to beat Jade? And then one of the baddies, I forget if it was Red Velvet or Kiera Hogan, said, nobody.
That's great. Great.
Oh, man. After that, Ospreay, it was announced Ospreay's going to be on Rampage. Next Wednesday, we've got that hair versus hair.
Road Rager.
What's that? Oh, yeah, that's right. Road Rager. We've got Jericho versus Ortiz, hair versus hair. We got the ladder match with the tag titles. Wardlow's taking on 20 people. And we got the Page versus Miro in the tournament thing, the All-Atlantic tournament.
Yes. Then we got our main event. Kyle O'Reilly versus John Moxley. These two guys beat the shit out of each other.
Oh, my goodness. They sure did. Yeah, this was fantastic. And it was great because in the end, when Moxley inevitably hits that paradigm shift, he laid on him for the pin. And you could just see him ranting away in his ear. Probably, oh, man, thanks so much for this match. Oh, this is great. Oh, I love this. This is so great.
I love when wrestlers do that when they're talking to each other during the finish.
I like people being nice to each other, Larson.
I know, me too.
Yeah, man.
I like that a lot. But yeah, they beat the shit out of each other. It was a lot of fun, especially after the commercial break halfway through the match. So about the last 10 minutes. Man. Woo. Ooh. Just beat the hell out of each other.
Ooh is correct. Ooh, we also had NXT this week. Fallout from In Your House.
In Your House.
That's what it was. Yeah, In Your House. So, what happened here? Oh, we had the finals to the breakout tournament. As we sort of expected, Roxanne Perez picked up the win here. And
then it seems like Solo Sikoa is not getting his North American title match so easily. He thought he had next when Cameron Grimes was champ. Now that Carmelo Hayes is champ, not so much. Also, Apollo Crews returning to NXT, and it seems like he might be sticking around there for a while.
Seems like that is the report happening now, or that's coming out now. I believe it was a PW Insider that had that.
I'll double check on that real quick.
The report is notably his accent is gone, so it seems like that iteration of his character is gone for now. But yeah,
when he was a baby face. He was a face too.
Yeah. This is awesome.
Whereas he was a heel in the main roster. Yeah, it's awesome.
He even mentioned what you and I have both talked about ever since he got called up from NXT after being there for like a cup of coffee, and that it was way too soon.
Yeah, it was way too soon.
There were moments in NXT, kind of like there's been moments on main roster where he actually gets to showcase a little bit of his personality, and it's always really cool. It's always really nice. And then he ran as much as he could with the Nigerian royalty thing. But But no, I think this is great, man. It's a clean slate for him. He is immensely talented. I think he's got tons of charisma that just needs to be tapped into.
He does.
And showcased. The crowd is really happy to see him. If he's going to be a mainstay in NXT, I think that's terrific. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess it's a situation where he's been the main roster for, 5-6 years?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe 4 years. I don't remember exactly.
God, it seems like it's been longer than that, but yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah, no. There's been periods where he's been featured on TV, and whenever he's been featured on TV, he's done really good work. Like, really good work.
I don't know what else they want from the guy. I don't know what else you have to show people.
You remember, like, in the early days of pandemic when they're shooting everything, they had to shoot everything at the PC. Yeah. And he was on TV every week hitting home run after home run after home run, you know?
Mm-hmm. 2016. April of 2016. Yeah.
So 6 years. That's wow.
Yeah.
And so if it's just a situation where, like, okay, you could be in the 24/7 division, or you can go to NXT. Go to NXT.
Absolutely.
He's a phenomenal talent. He can put on great matches.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Go there. Showcase your skills.
Yeah.
Remind people why you're awesome.
And he's already mixing it up with, guys that we want to see him in the ring with. He was in that tag match in the main event against Trick and Carmelo. Grayson Waller and Carmelo. And I mean, dude, an Apollo Carmelo match, I'd love to see that. I mean, look, at this point in NXT, it's not like there's a ton of dream matches necessarily because a lot of these guys are new, but the stuff that he can impart to them, make them better.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe, when if they do bring in some other people that have experience, maybe that'll be the thing. But whoever he's in the ring with, he'll make them better. And that's sort of an important thing.
It is. Yeah. It really is. I guess we can get into it. Show opened up with Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams promo.
You don't have
Trick
to
pretty much
do this entire.
I'm not gonna go do this whole thing. So pretty much Trick saying all is right with the world. Melo gives credit for Grimes for bringing out the best in him, but now he's the champ. So anyway, Solo Sikoa comes out and he's like, "Hey, I got next," and that's when Trick and Melo say, "No, you don't. New champ. Reset button is hit." Grayson Waller comes out. He gets in everybody's business. It eventually all sets up our main event, which at the time was going to be Solo taking on both Carmelo and Grayson Waller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We had a video package with Von Wagner and Josh Briggs outlining what's going to happen. How their match is set up. Tony D's family arrives at the PC. Legato waits, but what's his name? Used to be Raul Mendoza. Cruz.
Oh, Cruz del Toro.
Cruz del Toro. He's driving them. And Tony tells Santos to open the door of his SUV. He does. Of course, Legato's hating all this stuff. He's like, "Hey, Santos, suit up for a match. You've got one coming up here." After that, let's talk about this real quick. This is hilarious. Josh Briggs versus Von Wagner. Now, the ascent of Von Wagner, what they've been doing with Von Wagner would lead you to believe, and the position of Josh Briggs right now, who's just waiting for his tag partner to get better. Seemingly, this guy should be able to eat some L's as a singles competitor because he's a tag guy.
And not just that, they were hyping up literally during this match that Von Wagner was undefeated.
Yes. Yeah. So why is it? Why is it? This guy comes back from a successful stint in the UK, although I think he's just had the one match.
He has a match.
Did he have one before the Gradwell match? Like a squash match or something?
It was just the one. He did,
it was just
the one so far then. Unless they take more.
So anyways, Von Wagner... Jensen's on the outside of the ring, and he's got his hand in a cast. And so Vaughn takes it, and he slams it. So Jensen nods to Fallon. She gets on the apron to distract the ref. He slides the cast off, slides it into the ring to Briggs. Briggs grabs it, blasts Vaughn, gets rid of the cast. Ref turns around. Briggs gets the pin on Von Wagner. Von Wagner loses. Man,
yeah, that was pretty darn surprising.
It was. I would have had all my confidence points on Von Wagner here. But I think that's happened before. When I used to do the NXT, was it a Von Wagner match?
Did he get rolled up by... Yeah, he got rolled up. Did he get rolled up? It
was like Idris Enofe or somebody like that.
Yeah.
Or like a Malik Blade. I forget who it was.
That sounds right.
But yeah, and like everybody had bet all their channel points on, except for like maybe one person who was chasing action.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. But no, that's
And it was funny too because like the whole point of the cast is that you just can't slip it off easily, you know?
Well, that's what I like about, because Chelsea Green did the same thing recently. It was like a fake cast, but yeah, no, it was hilarious. It's like, what is going on with Von Wagner? Do they want this guy to succeed or what?
I don't know. So Jorge D says it was Malik Blade, and then Dex here says he debuted in a Fatal 4-Way and lost. So how is he undefeated? I think it was undefeated since joining up with Robert Stone.
Okay, that's what it is.
Like
yeah,
5
because
matches
he won.
Like
he lost against and he lost against Kyle O'Reilly, I think, didn't he? At least once, or did he win?
He did beat Kyle.
He beat eventually. Kyle. Yeah, he beat Kyle in probably his last match. But yeah. Remember when he tried to attack Kyle O'Reilly from behind, and Kyle O'Reilly? He took him out. Oh, that was great.
He did. Then we got a Solo Sikoa interview, and he pretty much just says, in the streets, when you fight, sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. He says, "This isn't a thing where I'm gonna catch him down the road. I'm gonna beat up Mello and Waller. I'm gonna do it tonight."
And if anybody wants to join me, they can, because he's like the interviewer's like, "It's a handicap match, though." And he's like, if anybody wants to come down, I'll turn my name into Duo Sikoa.
That's right. That's fine. Yes.
After that, we had Andre Chase presenting Thea Hale with the scholarship to Chase University. She's very excited about that. She says, "I'm excited to go here to perfect my craft." And she's like, "We should take a picture." And then Pretty Deadly walk up. "Yes, boy." Call him an embarrassment. And Bodhi says, "Hey, this picture needs more style. More Pretty Deadly. Go grab those tag titles." "Oh, wait, they lost them." And of course, Pretty Deadly get upset about that.
Yeah, they're not happy about that. And we got Nathan Frazier versus Santos Escobar. This was a fun match.
This was a good match.
Nathan Frazier is amazing. Phenomenal. I love his entrance, because there's like a rocket that shoots from space and lands on the stage, and it's him.
Yeah, it's great.
How good is that?
All sorts of space travelers in NXT.
Sure. Maybe he watched Aerostar Lucha Underground.
Maybe he watched We Book Raw and was like, "Oh, light speed. I would
light speed.
Warp speed."
So the Tony D'Angelo was on commentary, and he was being exceptionally critical of everything Santos did. His moveset, preening to the crowd, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially early on, he was really distracting Santos.
Yeah, man.
And the end, though, he's going for a Phantom Driver. Frazier escapes that. Santos kicks him to the floor, and then 2 Dimes puts a crowbar in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Santos looks at it, grabs it, slides it back.
Mm-hmm.
That distraction allows Frazier to hit him with an Enziguri Phoenix Splash to get the win.
That was good stuff. After that, we had Run It Straight Zion Quinn in an interview. And he basically, said Wes Lee's match, he had dominated, 4 minutes, 57 seconds
4 minutes and 57 seconds of a 5-minute match.
Yeah. He says, "You call that a victory?" He says, "I call it luck." He says, "Next week after our rematch, Lee's going to be unconscious." And then he goes away.
Yeah. Then we got a Braun Breaker promo. He talked about how Joe Gacy challenged him. No matter what Gacy did, though, he wasn't going to take the title from him. He says, "I know a lot of people back there are looking for an opportunity, so who's going to step up to the challenge?"
Apollo
Crews comes to the ring, says he missed the energy here in NXT. Says, "I wasn't there on Saturday, but I'm here now. I'm in NXT for as long as I want to be." He says, "I watched your rise to the top, Braun. You're one of the best athletes in all of WWE." He says, "When I left NXT, I left way too soon and left leaving a lot of things I wanted to accomplish on the table, but I'm back." He says, "And I envision one day, you and me, Braun, we'll be making some history together. Until that day, see you down the road." And they shake hands.
Yeah, it's very cordial, very nice.
Yes.
After that, what wasn't very nice is another Joe Gacy promo. Essentially, what's going to happen here is his druids now have a name. They're the Grizzled Young Dyad. Now they're just Dyad. And next week, we're going to evidently figure out who they are, because they're going to have a match.
Yeah, they're going to be Grizzled Young Veterans.
That is going to be so goofy, because I cannot think of them and not think goofy.
I know. Then we had the finals of the Women's Breakout Tournament. Tiffany Stratton versus Roxanne Perez. It was a really fun match.
Oh, dude, yeah, Tiffany Stratton. She's really come a long way in the ring. I think somebody
she really has.
In my chat the other day on MF Steve here, it said that she's only had like 12 matches to her name. So
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Roxanne ended up getting the win here with the Pop Rocks. Afterwards, Cora Jade comes down to the ring to celebrate with her. Toxic Attraction comes to the stage. Mandy says, "Oh, very sarcastically, congratulations." Says all the hard work and bus rides have paid off. Said, "Be proud of yourself." And to top it off, you have Cora beside you to soak it all in. Said, "Enjoy this moment because it's all downhill from here. If you think you're going to cash in that contract on me, you have a better chance of going to Raw or SmackDown." Said, "If Perez challenges me, you're going to fail." So just ask Cora. She failed twice. His title's not going anywhere. Roxanne Perez decked Mandy. A brawl broke out. Indy Hartwell comes to the ring to even the odds. And then the three of them clear the ring.
Yep. We go backstage. Bodie Hayward's been laid out. Andre Chase runs in, asks, "Who did it?" Bodie says, "Pretty deadly." And Chase gets mad and says, "Oh, I'm going to whoop their asses."
Ooh, yeah. So then we have a Wendy Chu interview, but Stratton immediately interrupts it and says Perez cheated. She says, "I want a rematch. It was unfair." And then Wendy dumps orange soda right in her face. A waste of good orange soda, Larson.
Then we had Pretty Deadly versus Andre Chase. Predictably, Pretty Deadly is wrecking Andre Chase, and then Bodie crawls out to the ramp. Mm-hmm. He's trying to make it to the corner so he can help out Andre. And Thea Hale follows and says, "No, you have to stop." And Bodie says, "But he needs me." So she looks at him, looks at the ring. She runs and gets on the apron. This was great.
I know, that was really cool. Right? She's like, tag me in. Yeah.
And so Elton Prince comes over. She slaps him, and that allows Andre Chase to start to make a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
But that's put to an end, and then Pretty Deadly hits Spilled Milk to get the win.
Yeah. No, I thought that was a really cool moment. The Thea Hale stuff has been great, by the way, so far.
It has been pretty fun.
Like the face turn from Chase U plus her coming on board.
Fantastic.
I was cracking up last week when she decided to go to Chase University. So anyways, Mello and Trick walking backstage. They walk up to Tony's family. So Tony tells Carmelo, he says, "If you want your title reign to last longer than the first one," he says, "falling a line behind the Don might not be a bad idea." Trick says, "Tony may be the Don, but Mello is the son of NXT. Everything revolves around him." Mello says, "Thank you, but no thank you." And Tony tells Mello to stay out of his way. He says, "Good luck in the main event." Then we had a quick Alba Fire versus Tatum Paxley match. Alba Fire hits that gory bomb, follows up with that. That swanton is nuts. Like at the very last second, like she basically targets her opponent with her neck. Like she goes in the very last. It's not like a high one. She like goes into it.
Well, especially this one because she gets Tatum Paxley in position for it. Tatum rolls more towards the center of the ring, thinking she's safe.
Right.
From the swanton, and Alba just hits it anyways.
Yeah, it's really, really cool looking, but it's always pretty scary to see.
Yeah.
So backstage, Creed brothers are in the Diamond Mine area. The Creed brothers are showing off the tag titles to Ivy and Damon. Roderick Strong steps in, says, "I know I've been giving you," and he's sort of being a facer. He's like, "Hey, I know I've given you a hard time. You all did great on Saturday. Let's bring it in for a hug." So then Malik Blade and Idris Enofe step in, and they're like, "Hey, great win. We're happy you got your moment." They put them over a bit. Says, "Hey, we hope we can earn our shot at the tag titles." And they sort of say, "Hey, you know what? It was a big moment for us." They step up like they're going to be foes, and then they just start laughing and like, "Hey, you know what? You want a title shot? You get it next week. We're fighting champions." Ooh, yeah. Roderick Strong didn't like that.
He is not happy. He says, "What are you doing? This isn't Christmas. You just don't hand out title shots. You make them earn it. But then again, you've never been champs before. I've been champ countless times. Thinking about it now, you guys made a bunch of mistakes on Saturday that almost cost you that match. You're lucky to even be champions now. I was going to give you one mistake as champions, and you just made it."
You just used your mistake. By the way, I forgot to mention also Lash Legend laid out Alba Fire on the ramp after her match. Thank you, Dang MQ, for mentioning that in chat.
Thank you, Dang.
So we got our confirmation.
Yes.
It is, in fact, Fabian Eichner is now Giovanni Vinci. I think he looks like $1 million, to be honest with you. Like,
yeah, I get it. Weird. He didn't get called up with the rest of Imperium.
This might be a better spot for him, to be honest with you. He's not just a third man for Gunther. or I guess a second man for Gunther, third man in his faction. He's got a new look. Giovanni Vinci's actually kind of a cool name. And these video packages are, I don't know, they're kind of cool. They're all stylish and stuff. He's a good looking guy. I'm going to give this a shot. I mean, if he can break through as a singles guy, he might be in a better position than had he just gone and been part of a faction.
Remains to be seen.
This isn't terrible, I don't think.
Then we get our main event. Carmelo Hayes and Grayson Waller taking on, at first we thought just Solo Sikoa, but as Solo's making his entrance, he has a mic and it says, Baz want to kick both your asses. I brought someone with me that feels the same way, and it's Apollo Crews.
Apollo!
Fantastic main event.
Oh my
Tons
gosh,
of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Grayson Waller was just doing some stuff in this match that was cracking me up. And I really liked how at one point Melo tags himself in, and then Waller manages to lure like Apollo Crews into the opposite corner so Melo can hit him from behind. This is like good, clever stuff.
Yeah. No, it was
enjoyed that. Anyways,
good stuff.
Yeah, all of Waller's plans were for naught, though, because his team lost. Solo hits a super kick on Carmelo, clotheslines him, Carmelo, and himself out of the ring. Waller's looking for his finisher. Crews catches him. This was awesome. So Waller's going for the rolling stunner, and as he's jumping to hit the stunner, Crews catches him and hits that powerbomb finish that he's done for a long time.
Yeah.
It was pretty great. It was a really good finish.
No, absolutely it was. And now it's time for the review. I wonder where the Enforcer is this week for his Level Up review. Last week he was on the couch, or sorry, 2 weeks ago he was on the couch, and this week, let's see where he's at for the Enforcer's Level Up review.
Hey Friendos, how's it going? It's the Enforcer here with another edition of the review that nobody asked for. You're gonna get it anyway. It's time for the Level Up Lowdown. First match on the docket, Fallen Henley versus the newcomer Brooklyn Barlow. Now, Brooklyn Barlow has been training on the daily at the Performance Center and has recently added Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to her training. Cut right to the end of this one. Henley controlled most of this match, got the win with a running knee. One thing I will say about Henley, every match that I see a little bit more progression. So that's all that you can ask, is just get your reps in. All right. Second match, Tatum Paxley versus Sloane Jacobs. Both of these women are coming off of their first round loss in the women's breakout tournament. Paxley goes for a body slam, but she gets a squat in before she finishes the slam. And I guess she's competed in weightlifting tournaments and all this, so she's really up on the weightlifting game. So she was trying to show a little bit of that off. Lots of chin locks. Down the stretch, we get a gut wrench from Paxley into sort of an electric chair position for Sloane Jacobs, into a slam from Paxley for a win. It looked a little bit wonky, but still effective nonetheless. Last match we have here, my boys here, Idris Enofe, Malik Blade versus Dante Chen and Javier Bernal. Now, we'll say Chen and Bernal, usually the pin eaters on Level Up, and this one, spoiler alert, is no different. Idris comes down there looking amazing in the cape. Hit this highlight here where Idris jumps off of the back of Javier Bernal and delivers a drop kick to Chen off of it. No Jindrak, but still impressive nonetheless. Tag to Malik, drop toe hold, and then they do a double team maneuver where one gives him a boot, the other one gives a spinning back elbow. But then Bernal gets advantage off of a backstabber. Bernal gets 2 atomic drops and then goes for a pin. I've never really seen 2 atomic drops back to back into a pinning combination. Hot tag to Idris. He's a house of fire, taking both guys out up to the top rope for a big elbow, 2 3/4. The crowd's like, that was 3. That was 3. Sadly, it was not. The match continues. Tag to Malik for the finish, where they do this sort of magic killer move where they get him up on a rope, but instead of doing anything else, they both in unison drop to their knees, and then I get the homie's chin and head is like right here, so then they boop, and then they get the 1, 2, 3. entertaining enough. Steve, hopefully you remember to get this in the live show. If not, splice me in wherever. Friendos, have a good one. Take care. See you on the next one.
Thank you, Enforcer, for another compelling level up review. Let's go ahead.
Thank you, Enforcer.
Let's go ahead and answer some questions. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do that.
The Yellow Flash asks, how would you set up an acclaimed face turn? I feel like they're kind of...
you just have them be entertaining.
They're kind of already... I know. I guess
They're
they're bad
there.
guys, but people
They're
really
getting
like
there.
them. So, yeah, they're kind of already there.
Yeah, they are getting there.
Let's see here. Alex Foster, this is a great question. What are the chances Gacy's Druids wrestle in their robes? Let me ask you this. Is there any way they're going to wrestle without us knowing, like without a face reveal?
I mean, I suppose it's possible. I just don't think the visibility of those things are that great.
You would think not. But
What
I
do
don't
I
know. I mean, are they going to conceal? I mean, Gacy did in his promo say, forget who you were before, which would make you think, okay, well, they're going to have their faces revealed because they were somebody before.
Yeah, it's Grizzly Young Veterans in their Grizzly Young Veterans gear.
He's got us. It would be great if one of the Druids had the Liverpool scarf.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then the other Druid has his face on the back of his robe.
He's got a cloaked Druid on the back of his robe. That's good. This is a good question. Shavon says, who from the New Japan bracket would you guys like to see in the four-way match? Well, let's just say the two guys that we want to see duke it out. Ishii needs to be in the actual match.
Ishii makes all the sense in the world. Yeah.
Ishii, and then who's Ishii gonna take on to get into that match? I feel like it needs to be another hard-hitting guy. Like I'd say
Suzuki.
Goto, but Goto's in the match already.
Suzuki.
Wait a second. Goto's not going to Goto's got the Dominion match. Yeah, Suzuki's good. But fuck it. Give it to Goto. Give him another shot at something.
All right. I don't know if the tournament match is happening at Dominion or not. I don't know. Both those matches could be happening at Dominion.
Oh yeah, that match has to happen at some point. Never mind. Yeah, you're right. All right. Let's see here. Steve Klain says, who would be the face of the Forbidden Door? Hasn't Tony Khan already claimed that?
Well, not that he's the face, that he is.
He is the Forbidden Door. But if he's the door, the face of the door is Tony Khan's face.
Tony Khan's face, yes. Mayor Planet Houston says, what's one thing you wish former NXT stars would have brought with them to the main roster that they no longer do now? Mayor Planet Houston says, I miss those old phone videos guys like the Street Profits used to make for NXT.
Oh, yeah. Baron Corbin's
I wish they would have kept in NXT and then brought to the main roster those. This isn't particular to any one person.
Yeah, I know what you're
like stuff was happening in the foreground at the PC, then something happened in the background that actually ended up being what you're really going to focus on.
I know. That was really cool when they did that. They stopped. They only did that for such a short period of time, but it was really clever.
Oh, Cornbread Haas, is it distracting to you when wrestlers have problem with their gear during the match and have to fix it, like when a wrestler is supposed to be really hurt but is sitting there pulling up his pants so his butt crack doesn't show? It's one of my pet peeves, people fixing their gear when they should be selling. I love Santos Escobar, but he was fixing his hair.
And it was so elaborate. Like he was like tugging on his ponytail and putting it
I think he had to retie it.
Yeah. And I'm like, he just took like a super high impact move.
Yeah.
No, I caught that too.
That bugs me.
Yeah. Let's see here. So Xavier Gray asks, where's Commander Aziz? Apparently he's listed in the NXT roster as well internally, according to Fightful or PW Insider.
Wow. GT Racer says, had Dan the Beast Severn helped do correctional officer combat training today, I'm sore, but he could still go. I believe that.
So
we saw him at
cool.
Starrcast. He looked like he was still in amazing shape.
Oh, dude, yeah, absolutely. No, he looks phenomenal. Maxter of Puppets, is Christian going to turn on just one member of Jurassic Express or both? I think they're all going to split. I think Jungle Boy's going to turn and leave. I think he's just going to be like, fuck you, I'm out of here. I'm not doing this shit anymore. All right. That's
Muted Mayday says, did Garcia and Kingston go through the middle rope? I saw some tweets about it. I wouldn't know because they didn't show it. The time I saw, they were brawling on the apron.
They showed a replay like way after the fact. Like it was a good 10 minutes later.
But I believe they're already on the apron when they showed that.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Thought.
Did they go through the middle?
Maybe that's what people were saying. I didn't notice that during the replay if they even showed it.
Anyways, that's going to do it for us, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. We're going to do a special stream tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern at the Twitch because there's going to be no Smash Zone tomorrow night because it's my 10-year wedding anniversary. So, yeah, thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Stone Cold Steve Austin impersonator Phil McDonald here to tell you to go support Going In Raw and Friendo Club at patreon.com/Steven Larson. They got bonus episodes, ad-free audio, a weekly newsletter rounding up the weekend wrestling news, and a bunch more. Patreon.com/Steven Larson. Go support or get hit with a stunner.